When the Canon PowerShot G16 came out, it was my favorite point and shoot. Now the G16 is out. Will it be my new favorite? It sure is. Hi, I'm Larry Becker. Last year, when I reviewed the G15, I listed a lot of reasons why I liked it and recommended it to so many shooters. Well, all the things that were great about the G15 are the same or better with the new Canon PowerShot G16. If you already know the G15 feature set, then I can tell you that the G16 adds Wi-Fi, a boost to the 1080 video from 24 frames a second to 30 frames or 60 frames a second, and the burst rate shooting is much faster. There are a couple of other minor differences, like the G16 size being slightly larger than the G15 and the lack of a dedicated panorama capture. However, the vast majority of features remain the same. So let's have a look at the G16 specs. To start with, the sensor is a 12.1 megapixel, 1/1.7 inch CMOS sensor that captures both RAW and JPEG still images and MOV or MP4 video files. The zoom lens is really impressive for a point and shoot with a 5x optical zoom. Now that's a 35mm equivalent range of a 28 to 140mm lens. It has a maximum aperture of f1.8, that's on the wide end, and f2.8 when you zoom all the way in. So it lets in more light than most point and shoot cameras. There's also a 4x digital zoom, but I'm not really a fan of digital zoom and I usually turn that off. The rear LCD panel is a nice, bright 922,000 dot screen, and it's fixed so it doesn't flip or twist, and it's also not a touch screen. There's an optical viewfinder for times when the LCD panel won't work for you, like in bright sun, but it doesn't show you exactly what the lens sees like the LCD screen does. And since there are no readouts in the optical viewfinder, it's just for framing a shot in bright light. New photographers will appreciate all of the automated functions. For example, the full auto mode and scene modes will let you tell the camera about your shooting environment, so it adjusts the ISO and other settings accordingly. The scene modes include a smile shutter, so the camera snaps shots when it detects a face in the frame that smiles. There are also all kinds of special effects filters that you can apply in camera as you shoot. Pros will like the programmed auto, shutter priority, aperture priority, and full manual modes on the G16. There are many other features that advanced shooters will like, including the ability to manually move the focus point, being able to change the exposure method, the easily accessible exposure compensation dial, and the flash exposure compensation. You can use the built-in flash or add a small flash with the standard hot shoe. There's a built-in ND filter and a host of other really nice pro features on this camera. The grip and the button placements are all well thought out, so there's a pleasing feel to the camera. You'll need big pockets to call this pocket size, but it's a nice small size considering all that's packed into this camera. While there's a movie position on the mode dial that gives you control over exposure lock or adjustments before shooting, you can shoot video from any mode dial position by just pressing the dedicated movie record button. Just be aware that many of the scene mode effects that I referred to earlier, like nostalgia or fisheye lens, don't work while recording movies. The image sensor and ISO range haven't changed from the G15, and, like its predecessor, the G16 delivers class-leading image quality from a sensor this size. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about the overall feature set and user experience of the G15 and G16, have a look back at my G15 review. But if you want more details about just the new features, keep watching. First, let's talk about burst mode. The G16 shoots up to 12.2 frames a second for 6 frames, and then it drops down to a still impressive 9.3 frames a second, and it can keep up that rate for more than 500 frames. That's because the G16 uses Canon's new DIGIC 6 image processor, which enables faster overall performance. So you'll be capturing all kinds of action at machine gun speed. Just make sure you're shooting in JPEG format with plenty of light. If you shoot RAW or RAW plus JPEG, it will slow things down quite a bit. But I'd imagine that kind of performance will capture a lot of amazing Little League plays never before possible. I didn't have access to a racetrack during my testing, but the performance in moving traffic was great. The other impressive standout feature is the addition of Wi-Fi. The G16 can connect to printers, computers, Canon's image gateway for image uploading and storage, and mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. You can even connect to other Canon Wi-Fi equipped cameras to transfer your images. I was a little disappointed that you can't use Wi-Fi to create a remote control for shooting. While you can use your smart device to browse and transfer images and geotag them, there's no option to remotely control the G16 for capturing images like you can with Wi-Fi equipped Canon DSLRs. But if you do need a remote shutter release, there are options like the Canon wired remote RS60E3 or the Velo FreeWave wireless remote shutter release, both of which are very affordable. But let me mention one more kind of wireless remote shutter release you can use that's free. If you're taking pictures of people and you want to be in the picture too, you would normally use the self-timer. Instead, try the G16's Wink self-timer. You just set up the shot and get everybody in place. Then, when you step into the frame, just give the camera a wink. About 2 seconds after the camera detects a wink, it takes the shot. That's a great feature for taking self-portraits. So for a very high-end point-and-shoot camera near the top of Canon's PowerShot lineup, the G16 does a great job delivering novice and pro features and functions. You'll get great images to share with friends and family. If you're looking for a bare-bones point-and-shoot, the G16 is a bit more than you'll need. If you want changeable lenses or a DSLR-size sensor, you'll want to step up to a mirrorless camera or a true DSLR. But if you just want a feature-packed point-and-shoot that captures great images and HD video with a wide aperture zoom lens, the G16 is hard to beat. For B&H and Kelby One, I'm Larry Becker. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.
Scott Kelby here, and welcome to this quick tour of our online training. We have hundreds of online classes for you, covering everything from lighting to landscape photography. From portrait photography to sports, we have classes on wedding, automotive photography, shooting, food, fashion, travel, you name it. The most incredible part of this is the price. You get all of this for just $199 a year, or you can pay monthly for just $24.95. 24-hour a day, 7-day a week access from anywhere in the world. I invite you to join with us today and start learning right now.